photographs, what's the percentage of stuff that goes in the trash versus what you're really happy with? Like,
okay, well, my husband can tell you nothing goes in the trash. He's like, this room, how do you move in this room? You know, I'm funny about throwing things away because sometimes if it doesn't work, I put it aside and I'll pull that out and I'll just paint over it again. Put gesso over it and you never see what's underneath it. And sometimes it's cool to like put paint over it and then kind of scrape away and parts of it come through. And I really like doing that. So I don't trash a lot of stuff, and I have these little packets of, you know, I do mosaic art. In the book there's a section on mosaic, and that's cutting photographs up and then reconfiguring them to look like a photograph, how I interpret that. And boy, I have a lot of snippets and I use them. It's interesting. I'm really bad. I'm bad at throwing stuff away.
do you have a favorite technique?
You know,
like your fallback kind of that always works. Or
well, I love gesso. I just love using gesso. It's so versatile. You can stamp in it, you can paint with it, you can cover things up with it, you can mix it with color, you can make it chalky, you can make it, you know, glossy. I think it's a great product to have and to use. You can bed your photographs into it, you know, push them down and it all kind of oozes up around it. I dig that look. So I would say gesso is probably my favorite one.
Do you ever run up against a block where, oh, I just don't know what I'm going to do?
Well, I'm kind of in this space right now. I'm working on a new project, another book. It's a follow-up to In This House. And it's all in my head. And I have not been able to put it down on paper yet, and I better hurry up. You know, I try to work through those by doing other stuff. Going and maybe working on another I usually have 4 or 5 things happening at one time. I'm like a crazy person. But I think when you have a block, you put it aside. I will get to a place where I know it's not finished and I will not work on it anymore. And then I'll take it out and you get like a whole new perspective on it. So I find that if I get kind of blocked or I feel uncreative, I'll go to a museum, I'll take a walk, you know, I'll go to a park, I'll go to my friend's studios. Usually gets me out of it. Yeah.
With both photography and your mixed media stuff, have you had any formal classwork, or did you go to school to get some grounding in art, or are you just winging it?
Well, I am kind of winging it. It's good and it's bad, I think. My dad was a photographer, and he used to take tons of pictures of me and gave me a camera. My mom and dad gave me a camera when I was 15. And I started taking pictures, and I haven't stopped since then. He was kind of my mentor. We had a dark room, and he taught me how to develop pictures and all of that. And then I got married and had kids, and there was like no time to go and do that anymore. So I did find a lab that would do that for me. But I've had no really schooling, and I'm not opposed to that. What I am opposed to in school is teachers telling you it has to be a certain way. What I do take right now is sketch classes, and I go and it's with a model, and nobody's over my shoulder saying that's bad or whatever, but I find it really frees me up, and I really can create well. I think, education is great, and I think it's really good, as long as you don't say it has to look like this, and that you put your own self into it. Is anybody else? I want to introduce Kelly Kilmer here. She's so sweet to come. Kelly's in this house here, which I love. Kelly's like the maven of journaling. And she did this wonderful journal of herself, which turned her house into kind of this whole story of who she was. She's of Irish roots. So this is in Gaelic, her street, the street of me, the life me, whatever that is. And I love this. This is such a great interpretation. One thing I love about journaling is just being able to say whatever you want to say. You know, it's funny, I've looked at this a million times, and I've never read every word. I kind of feel like it's really personal, but I love to look at it. And I think that's just so cool that you can just be so free with something like that. So to kind of journal this way, this is her childhood and stuff, I think is such a cool thing. And thank you for coming. So, anything else, or should we get signing? Let's do that. If you have any questions when you're up here, then I'll be happy to answer them.